So we're looking for... Well, I was about to say we were hoping for Magma or Vanna, having not played those before. But we've drafted all of these. I've drafted Vitruvian twice. I haven't played... I haven't played with Cassiva or Kalios. I don't think I want to play with Kalios. The chances are we're going to be playing with Reva if we go Songhai. So picking Songhai is probably the most, like, the correct pick, because you pick Reva and get wins. Abyssian is fun, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and pick the one that will get me lots of wins, or is more likely to get me lots of wins. No guarantees. So we don't know how good this card will be. Don't know how many good 2-drops I'll get. I don't know how many pump spells I'll get to combo with it. So without that information, it's kind of a bit meh. Elkowl, on the other hand, can be quite strong. This card does pretty scary things, and we have ways to buff it up when it gets things like Blast and Flying or whatever, and becomes really scary. Playing that on turn 1 could be quite strong. So I'm going to go for that. So Heartseeker for an actual card, a Battle Pet or a Healing Mystic. The Heartseeker is actually worth considering. It does die to, Blood Tear Alchemist and Blistering Scorn, but it is only 1 mana, and it allows you to get a ranged minion on the board immediately, which is reasonably strong. Although the chances of you being able to play something else with it on the first turn are not that high, and spending your entire turn doing this, well, you could do that, or you could play Veil Hunter or Widowmaker, which kind of achieves the same thing. So I'm going to pick the Healing Mystic. Get a good 2-drop in there. Speaking of Widowmakers, now this is an interesting one. I don't think we need to worry about picking this yet. There's plenty of expensive cards in this game, and we don't want that many of them in the deck. So we're certainly not looking for a bomb right now. This card is good. There are plenty of other ranged minions, often better ones. So I'm inclined to take the efficient removal spell over it, because this card is great. It's good for tempo, good for sniping ranged stuff, and obviously good for going face when we need it. Ooh. Dispel or Killing Edge? I think Killing Edge is the pick, right? I mean, there are so many cards that it goes well with. We have an Elkowl that we want buff spells for, because it can gain ranged, can gain blast. Celerity and Frenzy I think it can also get. So, actually I'm not sure about Celerity. I know it can gain Frenzy. It is nice to have Dispel in the deck. This is a constructed staple, but I don't think we're going to have enough spells to make it work. So I think Killing Edge is where it's at. This is the boring part. So, I don't rate this card. I think you have to have a lot of a pretty hefty board for it to be good. Like, I guess in a deck with Wraithlings or things like Orb Weaver, that could be fine, but buffing those doesn't really achieve anything. This card... So it is vulnerable to Dispel, obviously. But it can potentially provide a big pile of stats. That's all it is, though. And we have access to some pretty interesting or scary 5-drops in this game. In terms of stats, we have a Killing Edge, and we're going to look to pick up a second, so pure stats aren't that much of a big deal. So I'm almost tempted just to take the crappy Provoke. I mean, it doesn't die very easily on the first turn, meaning it will quite reliably take mana tiles, and it can be used for tempo, just protecting ranged minions, or getting damage off of our face very briefly. So it probably makes it better than this. I don't know though, I might be wrong. I just like having 2-drops. Okay. This might read draw 4. It probably doesn't. Kind of the same comments on Heartseeker as before. Like, if we're hurting for ranged minions late on, I'd pick one, but right now I'm looking to pick up stuff like Key Beholder that do work without buffing them when I want to spend a card in my deck. Like, getting 1/1s with range just a Bloodborne spell is ridiculous. Spending actual cards on them will run you out of resources quite quickly and leave you open to bloods. So I'm going to pass on this. I'm torn between Nasher and this draw spell. I think this card is probably not that good. The setup cost is quite high, and I think Nasher is pretty strong. We don't have an Inner Focus yet. We do have a Phoenix Fire to trigger it. But even without either of those, this card is fine. I've liked it before. It is notable that I don't think I cast it once in my last Songhai draft. I just had better things to do all the time, but that deck was very, very good. You know, we had like Lantern Fox and crazy things like that, so you know, I think this guy is fine. He's a solid tier 2 or tier 3 4-drop that you're not unhappy to have. Oh, this is interesting. So we can go for the OTK. Like, this plus Killing Edge is what, 12 damage? It's a lot. Not to mention its mobility. So that could be fun. This is a ranged minion. It also buffs all of our tokens. Actually, the synergy with the hero power probably gives this the nod pretty easily, right? Playing this just to and pumping 1 or 2 other ranged minions and attacking with them immediately is really strong. I don't really like 4-mana ranged minions, but eventually your opponent runs out of ways to deal with yours in Raver decks, so that does make her pretty strong. This card's really good as well. Like, it's very aggressive. It trades up well, gets in for damage well, carries a Killing Edge quite well. I'm almost tempted to pick it over the range thing. I don't know if that's correct though. Like, this does just die, whereas range minions generate a lot of value and tempo over time. I'll pick this. It has synergy points, as well as just being ranged. Meh. Meh. Shrug. I mean, this card is fine. I quite like it. It's not as hard-hitting as Storm Metal Golem, but it's pretty good. I've played it in a lot of decks before. It's a bit early to be picking up a 6-drop, but this card is entirely tolerable. I think I want it in my deck more than these. Yeah. Okay, so now we ask the Mirror Meld question again. So we have a Rock Pulverizer and a Healing Mystic, and 1 Killing Edge. You know, that's alright. This is another Celerity minion. This guy is quite scary. Like, Frenzy deals a lot of damage. I think it's probably... Dagger Kiri is harder to kill the turn it comes down, which maybe makes it better. I've had a lot of good work done by these in a Kara deck back in the day, but I honestly don't know which one of them is better in Songhai. I like that Frenzy means that you can do things that aren't kill your opponent with it and just get a bunch of tempo. Like, if you put a Killing Edge on this and just trade it for like multiple minions of your opponents and deal them a pile of damage, that's great. If you Dagger Kiri into Killing Edge and don't win, but just go face, you're not, you know, they can potentially come back from that. If you just kill minions with it, then you're probably trading 2 for 2, and that's fine. Whereas this has a lot more destructive potential when it works, probably higher upside. Do we only have 2 spells so far? I think that probably gives it a nod over the Illusionist. This card isn't that great even when your deck is full of spells. So I'm going to go for this. Oh man, the clunkers keep coming. What battle cries do we have so far? We have 1. Sorry, opening gambits. We have 1, 2. Can make this card interesting. It is a 2-drop. That doesn't hurt. I like Saboro's text. I've previously had it in a deck and just didn't use it. I think the one time I did use it, it was because I dubbed and just forgot that the thing I was attacking was a class minion very briefly. And there's also this 5-mana ranged minion, which I'm not a huge fan of, although it does have an effect the turn it comes down, which is kind of nice. Seems a bit slow though. Not really impressed with any of these. Sabura is kind of useful against golems, but it doesn't do anything against things like massive Lionar fatties. So I might just take this because it's a 2-drop. 2 mana is nice, and we will occasionally be able to make it a 3/3, which is really strong. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, that's a no. This is probably a no. Like, 5 mana to draw 3 cards is fine, but when your deck contains 0 copies of Mana Vortex, and 0 direct combos, this card doesn't do a whole lot. This is just like a solid 3-drop that has a really strong effect. I wouldn't call it like a tier 1 legendary, but it's better than the Sabura was. Well, these two are pretty bad, and that's Repulsor Beast, so I think we're going to want that. This deck is so far looking a lot worse than the previous one. Ooh, ooh. Okay, okay. I got a lot of work out of Inner Focus, especially as we do have a Beastmaster, we have an Elkowl, and we have a Killing Edge, and we're going to again look to pick up more. We have a Nasher as well, Arrow Whistler. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff for combos with it already. Widowmaker is a ranged minion. We do want those, but this card is great. I found myself regretting not having 2. Oh, wow. Okay. So this probably isn't very good. I mean, the effect isn't bad. Like, Sunstone Braces is actually a pretty reasonable card because you can kill 2/3s with it. So it's just good at early trading. This is great for contesting mana tiles. It has Rush, so obviously that's absurd. If we get more Mirror Melds, we could try and assemble Baconator and Gauntlet and make people salty. That'd be great. But this is hilarious. I'm really tempted by this card. There's the potential for just luring people out into the open and killing them. Oh. Like, you can get them to attack Nasher. How good is that? You know? I think that the typical combo is getting them to attack Zendo itself. Just being able to, you know, even if you park this in a corner and your opponent can't control their general ever, and you just get to dictate where they go, you know, they can't run away, they can't hide, they can't make value trades very easily. It's probably more effective than Tuskbore. I can't believe I'm saying that. I mean, Tuskbore's really good at, like, it's kind of a Saberspine Tiger, right? Saberspine Tiger is an awesome card. It'll help us contest the board early. This is really difficult. I think these two are very close. If anyone has opinions, please let me know. Give me your thoughts. That's a toughie. I think there will be board states where Tuskbore doesn't do a lot, whereas I think there will be very few board states where if you can cast Grandmaster Zendo, he will do nothing. Just trolling your opponent is valuable, and you can do a lot more with him than that. He's a good finisher, whereas Tuskbore's a nice tempo piece. I think he's kind of a fair bit worse than Saberspine Tiger in Gauntlet, because other than Veil Hunter... Oh, that said, he kills like Cannon of Mechazor and stuff. Kills Key Beholder. Helps kill obelisks reasonably well. Man, I really don't know. And obviously we do have a Killing Edge. If nothing else, we already have a Phoenix Fire for early minion removal. We can try and get more of these or some Saber Spines, but we're never going to get another Grandmaster Zendo, so... Oh, there's the Mirror Meld as well. Oh man, we could have done it. We could have done it. But eh, I'm not unhappy. This is the range minion we want. That's the 4th Mirror Meld. Oh god, what are all these pants cards? Okay, well I think I am taking the Mirror Meld now. Let's just hope we get another Tuskbore. we do need more 2-drops generally. Actually, we're sort of approaching the point. We're halfway through the draft now. We're looking to solidify what we have, get more copies of the stuff we need. And one thing we need is more 2-drops. This is quite good with the Rocky Headhunter, as well as Killing Edge. Being able to copy a large Iraqi could be quite strong. We still don't have that many battle cries though. We only have 3, so can't really see that happening very much, but we'll find out. I think it's better than the other cards by a long way. What? 3 legendaries. I think Red Singer's got to be the pick here, right? Like, this is pants. This is good, but it's good in constructed. I don't think it's good in our random, ordinarily curved Gauntlet deck that isn't great. I mean, it helps us find our combos, but we have a replace mechanic for that. But this is just a massive bomb. It comes down, kills something, hopefully something large. Your opponent has to respect and deal with it. They can't go face because it'll kill all their stuff. Yeah, I love this card. Wow, we have quite to the top end. Oh, what is this? What is this crap? Okay, this card... range... I assume that means your opponent's attackers. Doesn't do anything to stop your own. Just weird wording. This card seems very situational and dies quite easily, so I'm just going to pick this. It's kind of way higher than I'd prefer, though. Okay. I think we do want another range minion, possibly over the solid 4-drop. I might be wrong. We do have a Killing Edge and an Inner Focus. And a Murkblood Devourer, incidentally. There are more decent 4-drops than there are ranged minions, so I think we'll go and take that risk. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, Deathstrike Seal is probably better than Dust Whaler, right? Much as this card was awesome last time, we've already got 2 6-drops, so this card is very strong, so we want that. Second Inner Focus or a Saberspine Seal? Or actually there is, I mean, Scorn is a good card. Ghost Lightning is a one-sided Scorn without the 3/3. The Tower Eternal says Zendo for sure. I'm glad you agree with me. I want that card to be good. I want this to be good. What do you think of this pick? We have a Keyboard Holder, a Widowmaker, Nasher, Arrow Whistler, Beastmaster, multiple good pump spells. I think the Inner Focus probably is the pick here, actually. Almost all our creatures go well with it. The downside is running out of cards. We don't have any draw spells because we passed them because we didn't have anything to use them on in our deck. I think trying to get Beastmaster combos off seems worth it. I think Beastmaster Deathstrike Seal is pretty good. That said, Saberspine Seal is also a way to just get damage out of our pack of relatively small minions, and is very good with Beastmaster for a huge AoE. Like the fact that we can cast it on Raver just to kill something as well. Although I had 2 Saberspine Seals in my deck in the last draft, and they were really clunky. Whereas I very much wanted the extra Inner Focus. So let's go in that direction. Probably easy Phoenix Fire here. I think we need more removal. That said, we have a bunch of ranged stuff. Maybe we do need the Dispel. We have a lot of ways to deal small amounts of damage to things. Yeah, let's go for this just to get rid of stuff that has a massive pump on it or something. Bleh. So I don't think we need a second Beastmaster, although we do have 2 Inner Focus now, which makes him a lot better. But I'm just concerned about my curve. Ion is trash. We could just pick the Mono Vortex. Being able to play a cheap Phoenix Fire or Mirror Meld could actually be really valuable. And when we don't have a spell in hand, it just cycles anyway. So helps us get through our deck to find our good cards. So that actually seems alright. It also lets us play a Bloodborne spell for free, which is actually really useful. Yeah, I'm going to pick this. Okay, now I want this Hailstone Golem. Ooh, that's pretty good with a double inner focus. That's a 2-drop, but it's rubbish. This is okay. We already have a Deathstrike Seal for that. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this. We really need more 2-drops. We only have 3, 4 if you count the Shroud. That does not count. I think I'll just take another Nasher. At least Nasher Inner Focus lets us catch up from being behind on board. Slam the Killing Edge. Been looking for that for the last N picks. Ooh, White Widow or 4 Winds, Magi. So life gain is good. How many spells do we have? We have 7, 8 spells? Plus the Bloodborne. White Widow is the sort of card that will go face when you need it not to. But it is immediate damage the turn she comes down. That can hit minions. I did find that 4 Winds Magi overperformed in the last draft, so I'm tempted to pick him again. Like, just being able to gain that little bit of extra life is really nice. The chip damage against artifacts is really useful. Actually, I think that gives him the nod. There's that reliable and sometimes multiple chip damage. Okay, there's a 2-drop, but it's very bad. There's a 3-drop, which is quite good. And a 3-drop, which is a huge pile of stats, but is a battle pet. I think this is a close pick. I don't think I'd choose any of these to put in my deck. This with Inner Focus is cute, not very useful. Really not a fan of this card. Like, Yun could be strong, just because you can misdirect it, but it's going to deal some damage. Like, it's a 5/4, it's huge. As battle pets go, it's probably one of the better ones. But it doesn't go well with any of our combo cards. Inner Focus, Deathstrike Seal, Killing Edge, all just don't do anything with it. You know what? I think I just need to be able to spend my mana earlier on. I need to be able to contest mana tiles. I'm going to take this rubbish golem. Yes! That's a much better 2-drop. Much as I like this, hell yes. And obviously we pick Reva. I wonder how many people have, like... I wonder how much equity you lose, actually, if you just misclick there and hit Kalios. Because he's just that much worse. And if you look at this draft, right, we have a Gorehorn that goes well with the Blink. And positional tricks in general in this game are quite strong. You know, his Bloodborne spell is actually not nothing, but Reva's just so good and works so well with so many cards. Like, we have Deathstrike Seal, we have Killing Edge, we have Inner Focus. And obviously it produces ranged minions, which are just the best thing in the format anyway. So I think this deck is probably slightly worse than the last one, despite the presence of 3 legendaries. Hello! We have a visitor. I think I love Sinja and Zendo. I think Merkblood Devourer is just kind of fine, but it does buff the Heartseekers that River makes, actually. That's really strong. Yes, actually, this card is going to do work for us. We can play that and pop a Heartseeker down as a turn 4, a 4-mana turn. We can even do Merkblood plus random minion plus Mana Vortex and Heartseeker for just a pile of stats on the board. Seems good. Let's see how we work. Ooh, new Kara. I don't think I've played against new Kara in Gauntlet yet. No, I must have. Okay. I don't think we need 2 inner focus this early. I do love Key Beholder inner focus. That lets us immobilize one minion and shoot the other. Or kill off a Wings of Paradise or something. We don't need this yet, so I think the replace is pretty easy. No 2-drop, rip. I think Mono Vortex is the easy replace here. This card actually has value in our deck, given we have a 4-Winds big guy. So I think I'd rather replace it than cast it, especially as we have some quite good minions to play down. Like, I guess we're probably still playing the Key Beholder over the Elkowl, more or less anytime. But there is an argument for, like, if the opponent plays a 2-2 ranged, this is probably better. Because we have a chance of just killing that ranged minion. No, I think that's niche enough that I can replace this. Oof. So do I cycle this? What am I looking for? I think my next couple of turns are still fine. So I think I'd rather use this to help catch up on tempo by playing a buff spell or a Heart Seeker for cheap. That's a bit scary. It's not infiltrated though, so we can just kill it. So I think we play Key Beholder. We maybe even just play Key Beholder and immobilize it, but I think I'd rather just get rid of it. We'll play Sinja again. More Nashes. I mean, if I... No, I can't play Nasher yet. Yeah, we'll play Key Beholder. Freeze this down. We'll inner focus. Get this out of the way. And kill this. So the reason I'm killing it now is because buff spells are a thing, right? Like, the opponent can pump it with a minion. I guess they could have Lightning Blitz, which is unlikely. Cryogenesis, oh man, wrecked. Feels bad, man. At least that takes my opponent's turn up. Or not. Do they have a 1-drop? I guess if they have a 1-drop, that's fine. That's aggressive. That's very bold against the river. So we have 2 options now. We can run away and play Arrow Whistler. Kind of cedes a lot of territory. Or we can play a Nasher. I think we can replace one of these either way. So, I like doing... If I play Nasher like here, and then back up and put the Heartseeker behind it, or even step up this... Yeah, sorry, I have to... I can take this Mana Tile and play the Heartseeker behind me and just save the Mana Vortex. My opponent's being that aggressive, I'm kind of a bit worried about what she has. So I think I might not attack here. That is fine. That undoes the 2-for-1 from earlier. Oh! Right. Well, that's not that big of a deal, right? The Nasher just clears that. Hopefully the token spawns somewhere amenable. Oh, come on, really? Why has it got to be that one? Every time. Oh, rough. Do we have to dispel this dejected floor? It's really rough. I guess we can do that and then develop an Elkowl. I know I've said this before, but I love Nashers running animation. So spooky. It's great. Yeah, so we'll play... Man. Yeah, I think we have to. Stupid Kron. Be good. Range and celerity. Oh boy. I'm gonna replace this in the hope we get inner focus. No. Is inner focus worth it? Like, if we run away with inner focus, it plays around basically only Saberspine Tiger, and we spend a card to do that. We have other ranged minions if she has a removal spell. I think I'm going to replace the Arrow Whistler, actually. Even though it's good with that. Like, we have Killing Edge for that. Rock Pulverizer, that's pants. I'm going to cycle this now. Ooh, High Hand. That's good here. Right, come on. One time. I just previously played Constructed at us. Let's, Don't be a tiger, don't be a tiger. Okay. That's a good turn. Don't get me wrong, that's a good turn. But right, you can go over there, which I find funny. And then you, opponent, can get wrecked. Die. Die. Well, that was absurd. What do I want to be? Probably roughly here. I'm gonna place this thing. Yeah, gone. Makes it harder for my opponent to get near the thing. Oh, it was actually 3 off lethal that turn. I should have replaced looking for, like, Phoenix Fire. Did not think about how... Wow. That's fine. That's mostly fine. I mean... This is getting less and less fine by the minute, but... That's lethal, right? That was insane! Wow! Elkowl! 3 mana Grailmaster. What a god.